Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about warm versus cool. A lot of people can be confused about it, but if you understand what's the difference between warm and cool, usually it's undertones, then you can have a better idea of what you want to put on your face. Now, when you think about the color wheel, it's continuous. So depending on how you divide the warm and cool, well, it can be a little confusing. A lot of people know that MAC does neutral warm and neutral cool. However, they divide the color wheel on a little bit of an angle that's different than other brands like Makeup Forever, Bare Minerals, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Becca Cosmetics. Pretty much everybody else does the color wheel one way, and then MAC shifts it ever so slightly. So what MAC calls cool, generally everybody else will call warm, and what MAC calls warm, generally everybody else will call cool. So just to keep it less confusing, I like to say rubies and goldens. If you have a color that is going to be a little more golden, yellow undertone, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to be golden or warm. If you have a color that's a little bit more red or pink undertone, I call that ruby and or warm color wheel. Now, how do you know what you are, warm or cool? The easiest way is to look on the inner side, the inside of your arm that does not get as much sunlight. And if you can look, if you had to choose golden or ruby with me, then you will probably say golden, right? There's like no red here. So that definitely means I have warm undertones, or I have golden undertones. Now with women of color, we can have more than one undertone, and that can change throughout the year. So across my perimeter, something else to think about is what you turn if you tan. Do you get kind of a nice rich tan, or do you kind of burn and get a little more red? If you burn and get a little more red, then you're usually probably have cool undertones. And if you get more of like an olive type tan, then you're usually warm undertone. And okay, so getting back to my arm, this is warm undertone, but it gets interesting with women of color because we can have obviously different color complexions on our face and also different undertones. Now for me, when I tan, I get a little copper, and copper has a little bit of a red undertone. So as I tan in the summertime, depending on how dark I get, then I do have to start dabbling into the warm shades a little bit more so that I can appear the way I would naturally. So it's usually right across the perimeter of my forehead will be warm, and then across the center and then down around my mouth will be across here. I'm getting myself confused. Across here is going to be a little bit more red, a little bit more cooler undertone across my forehead, and then right through here is going to stay the golden warm undertones. So cool across the top and then golden right here. How does that play into your makeup? Well, when I worked for Bobbi Brown, the way we were taught is that everybody is brown. It's just different shades of brown, from porcelain all the way up to darkest color. We all have brown in our pigment, so that's a given. So when you're picking your foundation, what really matters is if you find one with the right undertone. If you put makeup on your skin and it looks very ashy or dull, then 9 times out of 10, that color is too cool and you need something more warm. If you put a foundation on you and it looks kind of reddish, then that means that foundation is too warm and you need something more cool. So that's how it helps you. Now, if you are warm undertone like I am, most people tend to be more warm than cool. If you're more warm undertone, then when it goes to picking your blush, usually you do better getting a blush that has a cooler undertone. It pops more. If you're more of a cool or ruby undertone person, getting a blush that has a more warm undertone will pop more. As far as your lipstick, your lips are completely whatever you want to do, except for, I think, reds. If you are golden, then I think cooler undertone reds with blue and purple undertones will look better on you. If you're a more cool person, then a red that has more warmer undertone, a little bit more of a reddish, orangey brown undertone will look better on you. Then of course there's a ton of colors that are just straight neutral. They're not red, they're not ruby, they're not golden, they're just neutral. Those are easy to do. And the other way that it helps you, whether you're warm or whether you're cool, is with your eyeshadow. I will make a blanket statement. Some of you guys may not agree with me, but I believe warm tone eyeshadows are flattering on everybody. Warm tones are flattering on everybody. They're usually browns. They usually use words like warm, golden, baked, those types of descriptive words. Those are going to be so much easier to work with for everybody. Now, if you are cooler undertone, then you can get away with a cooler undertone eyeshadow. And those words are usually like taupe, tan. Those are more cooler undertones. If you put on a cool undertone eyeshadow and you are warm, in my personal opinion, there's a little bit of a clash unless you're a professional and you really know what you're doing. So I hope that helps. If you are warm, you need a warm foundation with warm eyeshadow, cool blush, and cool lips. If you are cool, you need a cool foundation with warm or cool eyeshadows with warm blush and warm lips. I really hope that that helps you out. If you still want to get a little bit more information in print, please let me know. I will be sending it out to my newsletter folks with Karizma tips. So that does mean if you don't get my newsletter, please subscribe. You'll get a cute little freebie. And thank you for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you have any comments, please let me know below. Otherwise, have a great evening. So let's just say that over again. If you sit down, that foundation is more warm for you. I said that wrong. Sit.